All the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachakodash. The honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be entitled, America is Going the Direction of Weimar, Germany. All right. And, this lesson came to me while I was watching the lesson from the Elder Malcolm out there in Chicago. He played a video, and the individual in the video mentioned America, and he compared it to Weimar, Germany. And I wanted to look up to see what was going on in Weimar, Germany, right at the time. And when I read this, I said that this is prophetic. Okay, these things are going to happen to Babylon the Great, and ultimately the world. Okay, this is the word. This is what was happening in Weimar, Germany at the time, right after World War I. It says post World War I burden. The Treaty of Versailles, 1919, imposed harsh reparations on Germany, 132 billion gold marks, causing national resentment and economic strain. Hyperinflation, 1921-1923, the German government printed money to pay reparations and war debts. So what's happening in America right now? They're constantly printing money through the Federal Reserve. Okay, that shows you that Amalek was still controlling Germany, because who's the one that set up the Federal Reserve out here? It was Amalek, ultimately. Okay, the elites. All right, and they had their meetings, and they had to try to paint it to make it look, to make it palatable for the public. Okay, they had these particular meetings. All right. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Jekyll Island that they did that meeting on. All right. And anyone that spoke against it, man, they were looking to take you out. All right. It says, so the German government printed money to pay reparations and war debts. Currency became worthless in 1923. A loaf of bread cost billions of marks. People's life savings were wiped out overnight. And that's what's going to happen in Babylon, okay? And not just Babylon, Canada. Because if Babylon's economy falls, that's going to affect the world, okay? People's life savings are going to be wiped out, okay? People that were saving for particular things, they're not going to be able to do anything with that. Okay, let's go to Revelation 6. No, not Revelation 6. Excuse me. Let's go to James 5. They're not going to be able to do nothing with that money that they have. This is James 5 and verse 1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl, for your miseries shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold," hey, that represents decay. That represents poverty. Okay. Even these ones that were living the high life, that were millionaires and multi-millionaires and whatever, these Jakes that are celebrities, even these Edomite celebrities, that money that they were making is going to be worthless. They're going to be no different from the average person, except that they're going to be recognized. Okay? It says, your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. Yeah, because gold and silver is not supposed to canker. That would mean that it's fake gold and silver. This money is fake. This money is not backed by anything. It's fiat currency, because the word fiat means faith. It's faith-based currency. because you have to believe in it for it to work. It really has no intrinsic value. It's not backed by anything. They removed the gold from backing the dollar a long time ago. You used to be able to have a silver note, a gold note, a $20 bill, and you would get $20 worth of gold, because the word dollar is a measurement. That was stopped with Roosevelt, and then fully stopped with Nixon. Okay, because Roosevelt brought it back, but then when he brought it back, he took it away and brought it back. And when he brought it back, you know, the power of that dollar was less. You didn't get back a $20 worth of gold when you gave them a $20 note. Now it was less. And now it's not backed by gold at all. So this is a big scam. What's going on? It says your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures together for the last days. Yeah, so they think that this treasure is going to help them. This treasure that they've heaped up, you know, these CEOs, they think that that's going to allow them to escape the judgment, which is not. Okay? It says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Okay, because don't think that everyone that's a CEO, everyone that owns a business, even a big business, is going to be delivered from this time. No, the elites are trying to deliver themselves in a bunker. They're not worried about the average person. And you regular business owners, even if you own a big business or whatever, a franchise, they're not looking out for you. You're a low-level peon. Okay? You just happen to be rich compared to the other people. You're still a low-level peon, man. All right? You celebrities, you're low-level peons. Oh, yo, Jay-Z has $1 billion. They don't give a damn about Jay-Z's little $1 billion. That's nothing, man. These elite bankers are worth trillions upon trillions. Okay? And a trillion is 1,000 billion. So get out of here with that. Right? That's nothing. All right? This is let me get Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 7 in verse 19. And it reads, matter of fact, let me read. I'll start at verse 14. It says, they have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field, and this is getting ready to happen in Babylon, in America, in these first world countries, about to get like this. The sword is without, especially in Babylon, and the pestilence and the famine is within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. Yeah, you don't want to be, the city's going to be the worst place to be, but you're not going to be safe in the field either. But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them. And shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. They shall cast their silver and their in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Yeah, it's going to be worthless to them because that's not going to be able to deliver them. Just like in Weimar, Germany, they were using that money to burn. Said a loaf of bread cost billions of dollars. That money is completely worthless, man. They were using that to burn, for fuel. It was cheaper to use it for fuel than to buy things. It says their silver and their than to buy fuel itself, right? It says their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh. They shall not be satisfied. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity, which the Lord did that upon Israel before. All right. But he's going to do that upon America. He's going to do that upon Babylon the Great. Okay. It's about to get bad, man. All right. Let's go back here. Salakia. Nonsense, man. Okay. Let's go back here. It says, right, people's life savings were wiped out overnight. Read that. It says the Great Depression of 1929, U.S. loans from the Dawes Plan dried up. Unemployment soared. By 1932, over 6 million Germans, nearly 1 in 3, were jobless. Right? We know about what? Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, the grinding shall cease. Starvation, homelessness, and despair spread rapidly. Okay, so this is what was going on in Germany, man. Which you can get Ecclesiastes 12. It's Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 1. It says, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not," which the evil days are coming, "nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few. And those that look out of the windows be darkened." So the grinders are going to cease. Okay. There's going to be a lot of more joblessness coming. Okay. Especially in 2026. Even now, 100 and something thousand so-called black women lost their jobs. And you women are going to feel it the most. You're going to lose the jobs the most and the fastest. Because your jobs are easily replaced. It's harder to replace them blue-collar jobs than it is to replace you with AI. Very easy. These monotonous jobs, these jobs that you doing the same thing, very repetitive, using the computer. Yeah, y'all are gonna learn, man. And that 7 women shall take hold of 1 man. Okay? And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Okay, all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Ain't gonna be no singing and dancing like that. And that also is a prophetic signal of why the music is all jacked up, man. The music is all garbage, man. They're not making music like Stevie Wonder made. That music that drew emotion out of you. That basically took you on an emotional roller coaster in a good way. It says also when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fear shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, meaning your dreams, your hopes, that's going to fail. Okay? The pride of life. Because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. Okay, let's go to because it mentioned that famine was on the rise. The famine was rapidly spreading, rather. This is Revelation 6:4, and the same thing happened in the Great Depression in America. Famine was rising. I mean, famine was there, and it's going to come again. It's going to be even way worse. All right. This is Revelation 6:5. It says, "And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, 'Come and see.' And behold, and I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand." Right? And the balances represent judgment. Okay? "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, 'A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.'" And I broke down a video recently about what that actually means, what the meaning of a penny actually is. Right? A penny back then went a long way, which was like a day's wage for like a soldier. It went a long way. It basically could support a family of four people, 4 or 5 people. It could support the family, right? You could have, your two meals. You could even go to the restaurant and get something to eat, because they had restaurants in Rome. Okay, you can also buy a liter of wine. Okay, and you could buy something else you could have bought with it as well. But that was all for 1 day's pay. Okay, that's all in 1 day's pay. You could have bought all those things. Okay, now it went from that to only being able to barely feed one man for a day. So that was about 20% of the buying power it had before, or less. That's what this penny represents. That's what the measure represents for a penny. Okay, I think it's the the chonix. The chonix is what the measure is. The measure for that barley is the chonix, because there's different measurements for the barley and the wheat. It's a cholix, which is a very, very small measurement. Okay.